Welcome to night number 119 of History Bedtime Stories. In our pajamas, sitting close to a bed, tonight's episode is brought to you by Buddy's Pizza. Tonight, I thought we would talk about a tradition, if you can call it a tradition, that is very uniquely Detroit. Devil's Night, the night before Halloween, which as early as the 1940s was called Devil's Night here in Detroit. And I, growing up, always kind of thought every city had this, but in fact, we're the only ones who call it Devil's Night. In Philadelphia, it's Mischief Night. It's the Night of Mayhem in Boston. And here in Detroit, Devil's Night has actually worked its way into a lot of popular culture. I thought about it because I was watching the old 90s flick with Minnie Driver and John Cusack, Grosse Pointe Blank, and she's back home living with her dad because her apartment burned down on Devil's Night. Well, that very much was the Devil's Night of the 1980s and particularly the 1990s, when arson and burglary became really part of the night and became so dangerous that in 1994, 800 fires were recorded in just a 36-hour period. Those arson fires not only ruined millions of dollars of property, displaced hundreds of Detroit families, but endangered the lives of Detroit firefighters. Under then Mayor Dennis Archer, a big effort was put forward to turn Devil's Night into Angel's Nights. Groups of volunteers with radios and patrol areas started basically civilian patrolling neighborhoods in the 3 nights running up to Halloween to make sure property and people all got through the evening unscathed. In the 1940s, though, it was actually organized and supported in some neighborhoods. It was a night to soap your neighbor's windows, throw tomatoes at someone's front door, egg a house, and toilet paper a tree. That mischief really escalated after the 1960s through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, culminating in the worst year for Devil's Night ever, 1994. But I want to tell you a story from 1946. It's about 3 friends growing up in Detroit who decide Devil's Night is their moment. They make their way to downtown Detroit with a box of laundry flakes, laundry soap. And their plan is to put all of this laundry soap into the Edison fountain. And then it would, bubble up and make this huge mess. As they're making their way downtown, a police officer sees them, and knowing it's Devil's Night, it's fairly late, and wondering what a whole bunch of teenagers are doing with a box of soap, he stops them and says, "Children, what are you up to?" And the leader of the group, a 17-year-old kid described only as Michael, says, "Sir, it's Devil's Night. We're gonna go put this soap in the fountain." Well, the police officer takes one look at him and says, that soap would make a lot bigger mess if you did it out on Belle Isle in the James Scott fountain. And off the kids went into the cops' buddies precinct for the evening, and they bubbled the Belle Isle James Scott fountain. Today, Devil's Night has really been very, very mild, thank goodness. Wash your hands, and we'll see you tomorrow night.